Yesterday, USA. For the good times. For the good times. For the good times.
This is Fred Foy. Join us now as we travel back in time and relive some of the magic that was part of the golden age of radio. It's time now for another episode of The Glowing Dial, here on Yesterday, USA.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting. Use Gritto, radio friends, the soap that gives your hands that dishpan look. How will the old man know you've been working if your hands don't have that dishpan look? Put a box of Gritto in a glass of water, then listen to it fizz. Dopes. Remember, Gritto, spelled sideways, is atragg. And now Gritto's own story of Sandra Sandpile, and here's Mud in Your Eye. Music.
I heard you on the wireless back in 52, lying awake intently tuning in on you. If I was young, it didn't stop you coming through. They took the credit for your second symphony, rewritten by machine on new technology, and now I understand the problems you could see. I met your children. What did you tell them?
Video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio star.
Pictures came.
And now the hosts of The Glowing Dial, Big John and Steve.
Thank you very much, Fred Foy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Glowing Dial, bringing up my co-host, Mr. Steve. How are you, buddy?
Hey, thanks for bringing me up, John. Yeah.
Well, I meant bringing your volume level up.
Oh.
It's a family show.
Oh.
Anyway, yes, we are bringing you another edition of The Glowing Dial here on Yesterday USA Radio, the station founded by your friend, my friend, the man with a million friends, Mr. Bill Bragg. And we're hoping we will see him here. We are at the Friends of Old Time Radio Convention here in Newark, New Jersey, as we record this episode for you.
Live.
Well, almost live. We,
Yeah. more
Anyway.
or less.
And this is the 24th annual, and a lot of great guests supposed to be here, and hope some of our YUSA friends will be here. And if we get enough of our YUSA friends here, we're going to do another one of those room parties like we did a few years back.
And we'll do a show with that, yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to try and get some more interviews here for you folks, and just lots of good stuff. And probably going to go raid the dealer's room, too. Well, to some extent.
Walk in and you say, pardon me, but this is a raid. And
Yeah, buddy, let me see your spray can.
And then it's not bugged.
Is it Raid Flying Insect Killer or the regular kind? Or is it Yard Guard?
Yard guard.
Actually, we probably shouldn't be using all those commercial references, should we?
This is a non-commercial station.
Yes, it's supported by you, the listener. And it's non-profit, of course, as well. So we'll tell you how you can get in touch with Yesterday USA and help support us, help us keep on keeping on. We'll also tell you how to get in contact with us here at The Glowing Dial. We love hearing from you. And
Mind waves are good.
Hmm?
Mind waves, they can communicate with us through, telepathy.
In your case, it would be a microwave. But anyway,
Oh,
all right, there's my little rim
I've
shot.
never been so inspired.
I got to get a
in my life.
professional drum rim shot, to
Yeah.
use with all these bad jokes, but
Just doesn't.
has to be
cut it.
digital because we'd use it so much. We tell so many bad jokes that it would wear out.
Yes.
The noise you hear, yes, the Holiday Inn is right next to Newark International Airport. So, hear that? Yeah,
We
that's
might have
jets.
some broadcasting here while there's
Oh,
a plane
yes.
taking off or landing.
Live from the airport. It's
So,
anyway. It's we have two programs to bring you here on the Glowing Dial today. One's an episode of The Strange Dr. Weird, which you're going to be hearing a lot of for a while. And
that's our 15-minute installment. Yep.
Right. And the second show we're going to bring you is an episode of The Lives of Harry Lime, also known as The Third Man, with that great Anton Karas zither music in there. So right now, watch there, Stephen. You're bumping your mic. First, we're going to have an episode of The Strange Dr. Weird. This is called Journey into the Unknown. It's the third episode in the series from November 21, 1944. And Steve will just give you a little bit of background on that show
Well,
as this jet flies overhead.
yes, there are 28 shows available for The Strange Dr. Weird, and it ran from November of 1944 through May of 1945 on the Mutual Network, 15-minute show, Tuesday nights. And what do they describe it as? Let's see, a mystery melodrama, supernatural fantasy. Ooh. Maurice Tarplin was the narrator. He played Dr. Weird. And the writer is Robert A. Arthur. Strange Dr. Weird was a poor man's mysterious traveler, enacted by the same performer and written by one of Traveler's authors. Except for the shorter format and a consequent lapse in quality, the shows were almost identical. Dr. Weird narrated grisly and fantastic tales, closing in Traveler's style as, well, oh, you have to leave now, too bad, but perhaps you'll drop in on me again soon. I'll always be home.
Much like the mysterious traveler.
Right.
Oh, you have to get off now.
Yes,
What
just
a
look for
shame.
the house on the other side of the cemetery, the house of Dr. Weird. Yeah.
You have to do a little more inflection with the character when you read the quote, you see. But we'll learn, Steve. Don't worry, folks. We'll learn him.
Like this. Come to see me. I am Dr. Weird. But I didn't think that was...
Warning, Will Robinson,
I know. I
danger.
thought that was too mechanical, so I didn't want to read it that way. But
Oh, well.
apparently you didn't like the way I read it.
That's
so-
the way
oh,
kids
well.
in third grade used to read. I remember that. And then they
Right.
would stop at the end of the line and start new, like at the second, even though the sentence is a run-on sentence.
Yes, they wouldn't know enough about a period
Joe
to
threw the
stop or
ball.
inflection
Joe
and
threw
stuff.
the ball and caught it in his left.
Yeah, right. A lot of it has to do with just experience of reading it again and then just anticipating what was going to happen.
Well, right, yeah.
But anyway, we should get into Dr. Weird. We should not
Yes.
go into grammar lessons here.
Or maybe we should go into Gramper lessons. Grammar and Gramper.
Grammar is in bed with the wolf.
This is a family show, Steve, so let's just
No, the
leave
wolf
that
is
right
gonna,
as it is
well,
here. Huh?
Wolf's waiting for Little Red Riding Hood to show up so we can jump out and scare her and have her picnic basket.
A boo. Anyway, folks, the McGee machine is not with us here since we're on location. We had to leave our beautiful console radio home because it wouldn't fit on the airplane. But anyway, so from November 14th, 1944, this is, no, I'm sorry.
21st.
Thank you. I read the wrong line there. From November 21st, 1944, this is episode 3 of the Strange Dr. Weird entitled Journey into the Unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so sit back, close your eyes, and remember.
Adam Hatch presents The Strange Dr. Weird.
Good evening. Come in, won't you? You seem a bit nervous. Perhaps it would calm you a little if I were to read to you from the secret journal of Professor Drake. It's a fascinating tale. I call it Journey into the Unknown. There are some extremely interesting entries in Professor Drake's journal, particularly those beginning with the entry made October 1st, which reads, "Today my son Paul has reached the final stages in the preparation of his serum number 17. After 2 years of intensive work and 16 failures, he believes that he's at last succeeded."
But just think of it, Paul. Before you took the serum, you could only lift 200 pounds. But now you can lift 400. Why, your strength has been doubled.
Yes. With the added strength my serum will give him, man will be able to resist diseases that he succumbs to now. His lifespan will be lengthened by 20 or 30 years. Perhaps he...
No, I'll answer it, Paul. Oh, it's you, Julia.
Yes, I want to
Oh,
talk.
you can't, Julia. He's right in the midst of an
But
experiment.
I haven't seen or heard from him in 2 weeks. After all, I am his fiancée.
But, Julia, he can't be disturbed. He's in the...
Oh, hello, darling.
Why, Julia,
Oh, Paul, you squeeze me so tightly.
I'm sorry, dear. I'm afraid I don't know my own strength.
Oh, that's all right. Paul, what kind of experiment is it you're working on?
Darling, I can't reveal anything yet. Not even to you. But when my work is done, you'll be the first one to hear about it.
Here's the entry for October 7th. Serum number 17 is effective beyond Paul's wildest hopes.
Oh, think of it, Paul. Today you were able to lick up 600 pounds with ease.
Yes.
Why are you staring at yourself in the mirror so?
Father, do you notice any change in the shape of my head?
Why, no, Paul. And I'd certainly notice a change if there were one.
Yes, of course. It must be just my imagination.
On October 8th, he wrote, "This morning when I entered the laboratory, I found Paul fast asleep at his desk. I woke him.
Paul, wake up. You should have gone to bed when I... Oh. No, it can't be.
What is it, Father? What's wrong?
Your face.
My face. Quick, hand me that mirror.
Here.
No. I was right. Look at me, Father. My face has become broad. The features flattened. The cheekbones prominent. And notice how thick the hair on my body has become. I've reverted to the Neanderthal man.
The Neanderthal man. But, Paul, he existed 50,000 years ago.
Yes, I know. At the swift pace I'm going backwards, it may only be a week, a few days, before I revert to an ape completely.
Paul, what are we going to do?
There's only one way I can save myself. I must find a neutralizer that will stop the serum from changing me into an ape before it's too late.
In his entry for October 10th, he wrote, "Paul has been working 48 hours without rest, and so far has been unsuccessful in finding a neutralizer. This morning when I entered the laboratory, I could see that he is looking more and more like an ape every day."
Paul, you just can't go on this way. You've got to get some rest.
I can't rest. Every minute is precious. I lost 4 hours last night.
What? You lost 4 hours? I don't understand.
While I was working here last night, I glanced at the clock to find it was just 3 o'clock. Then, the next thing I remember was finding myself in the hall, and the clock was just striking 7. What? I can't remember those 4 hours. Where I was, what I was doing. Those 4 hours, I lost my ability to think as a man. My mind became that of an ape. During those 4 hours, I actually was an ape.
We return to the story of the terrible danger threatening this young scientist in just a moment. Meanwhile, for a breathing spell, a word from Dr. Weird.
Yes, a breathing spell. Something pleasant to think upon. And what subject could be more appropriate at this fall season than hats? I'm sure my young friend here can tell you something most helpful about Adam hats.
Thank you, Doctor. Gentlemen, Adam, hatter to famous Americans for many years, has created a brand new value in fine headgear for men. It's the Adam 5. Nowhere in America can you find a better buy. Try on an Adam 5. See for yourself. Notice the perfect fit, the up-to-the-minute fashion, the quality feel of the lustrous, fine fur felt. Every Adam 5 is fine fur felt, hand-blocked by master craftsmen. And you have a great variety of correct styles from which to choose. Try on an Adam 5 tomorrow. You'll look right and feel right in one. Proud to be seen wearing one anywhere. For other Adam hats, choose from prices ranging from $3.45 to $10. If it bears the Adam crest of quality inside the crown, you can be sure of honest value. Now, let's return to Dr. Weird and his tale, Journey into the Unknown.
The entry for October 11th in Professor Drake's journal reads as follows. The changes in Paul's appearance continue. His body is now completely covered with a heavy growth of hair, and his skin is rapidly turning to a deep brown and becoming coarse and callous. His arms have lengthened almost 5 inches, and he walks more and more in a stooped manner, with hands almost touching the floor. As yet, no change in voice has been noted. On October 12th, he wrote, "Last night, Paul suddenly dropped the test tube and snarled at me. In that moment, he was completely an ape." The entry for October 13th reads, "Last night, when I came into the laboratory, I found a window open and Paul gone. I immediately rushed out into the night to find him. A few blocks away on the university campus, I saw police gathered around the body of a girl who had just been murdered. Every bone in her body had been crushed. A few hours later, Paul returned to this house. He could recall nothing of what had happened, or where he'd been. To prevent another accident from occurring, today I had steel bars placed over Paul's bedroom window."
Oh, it's you, Julia.
Good evening, Mr. Drake. I want to see Paul.
No, I'm sorry, Julia, but Paul can't be disturbed. He's asleep in his
You've
room.
been putting me off for days, but this time I am going to see him.
Hey, Julia, come back. You can't see him now.
The light switch. Oh, is this?
Julia, you shouldn't
Well,
have...
he isn't here. His room's empty.
He isn't here.
Why were those bars put over Paul's window?
It's all part of the experiment, Julia.
Window over his. As though someone had bent the bars apart to escape. But no man could have bent bars as strong as these. That ape,
What is, Julia?
the one that the police believe crushed that poor girl to death last night.
No, really, Julia, do you think for a
You were
moment that...
using an ape in the experiment. This room was his cage, and now it's escaped.
Julia, you're wrong, I assure you.
Paul's out looking for that ape, isn't he? And the ape's a killer.
Please, Julia.
I'm going to get the police.
At the latest by day after tomorrow. And now, a special message from police headquarters. 20 minutes ago, an unidentified girl was found crushed to death. It is believed she was killed by the ape that murdered Betty Ryan late last night. All residents are warned to get off the street.
Father, I heard what that announcer said. I killed that girl tonight, didn't I? And the one last night, too. I'm a murderer.
Paul, listen to me. The police are looking everywhere for you. We haven't a moment to lose. The neutralizer we were working on last night. It should be ready by now, shouldn't it?
Yes. And this time I'm certain it will work.
You must take an injection before it's too late and you revert forever, Johnny.
Open up in there! The police!
Quick, Father. The neutralizer before it's too late.
I have to fill this hypodermic, Paul, before I can give you the injection.
All right, you men. Break the door down.
Hurry, Father, hurry.
I am.
It's too late.
The ape, there he goes, man, out the window.
Paul, come back!
Mike, flash a warning to every patrol car. Issue Tommy guns to all the men. The orders are, shoot to kill. All right, men, spread out. We've got the ape cornered now.
Please, Chief, you've got to listen to me. If you'll only let me inject this neutralizer into him, then there won't be any need for all
Oh,
this.
don't listen to him, Chief. That ape's a killer.
Yeah, we're going to put an end to that ape once and for all.
No, you can't. You don't understand. It isn't an ape. It's my son, Professor Drake.
Your son. I know an ape when I see one.
Yes, I know, but it's my son changed into an ape. This neutralizer will bring him back to
You
normal.
must be crazy. Okay, Mike, let him have it.
No, I won't let you. I'm coming, Paul. I'm coming.
Right, come back. Come back, do you hear? Hold your fire, Mike.
Here I am, Paul. Oh, it's Father. I have the neutralizer.
Come away from that ape.
Paul, I have the injection. Here, give me your arm. Oh, no!
All right, Mike, drop the old man's body now. Let him have it.
Oh, my chest. Father, where am I? What's happened? Oh.
It was a great pity about poor Professor Drake, wasn't it? He was so young. What am I going to do with his journal? I thought I might carry on his experiments. But I would need someone to assist me as a sort of human guinea pig. Perhaps you would like to volunteer. Oh, you have to go. Too bad. Perhaps you'll drop in on me again soon. I'm always home. Just look for the house on the other side of the cemetery. The house of Dr. Weird.
Hi there, this is Bill Bragg, the man with a million friends. And you're listening to The Glowing Dial with my good friends Big John and Steve, right here, right now, on Yesterday, USA.
Thank you very much, Bill. And hi, folks. We're back with you. And hope you enjoyed that episode of The Strange Dr. Weird. Yeah.
He certainly was strange, wasn't he?
Isn't he, though? He's just, wow. Anyway, we have another show to bring you, folks. And stay tuned, because at the end of the program, hopefully we'll have time here, we're going to give you the addresses, tell you how you can support YUSA, and how you can contact us here at the Glowing Dial. Won't that be fab? So it's not to be missed. So stay with us, please. Time to get into our next program. This one could be known by two titles, I suppose. Title of the show is The Lives of Harry Lime, but it's also known as The Third Man.
Third Man is the
based
actual...
on the 1949 film by
Third
Carol
Man
Reed.
is in the books and stuff. It's listed as Third Man. The Lives of is the ultimate title. So that's what.
But it did. You were saying there that it aired in England first.
Yes,
correct?
51 through 52. It was originally a BBC series, and then it was syndicated here to the United States.
Okay.
I like the star's name, Orson Welles. Now, there's a name you hear. Oh, he played Harry Lime.
Yes, Orson is kind of top on my list there as one of my favorites as well. So the episode we're going to bring you is called It's a Knockout. It's episode number 21. It went out on Friday, December 21st, 1951 on the Mutual Radio Network. And do you have any more information you were going to give there, Steve, before we jump into the show?
Oh, well, they says the Harry Lime is sort of a double-dealing, money-grubbing character, but he's likable. Because
he was a dealer in the black market.
Most of the people he came across are even more disgusting than he is, so that's what made him more likable. So.
Yeah.
And they said the highlight of the series was the haunting zither theme played by Anton Karas.
I love that stuff.
So
I love that stuff.
We're gonna
and at the end of the show,
music.
there's
you don't hear that very often. It's very interesting music.
They just put a little bit of it at the end of the show, and it goes on for a couple minutes, so it's
Greek
really cool.
Sound to it too, sort of like Zorba
I never thought about Greek with it. I just thought it lended itself to the setting of the film, which was Austria, post-war Austria.
Okay.
And those the four political sections that there were, and the one cop from each got in a jeep and they would patrol, and
But I wonder what happened to the first and the second man. Why do they call him Third Man? I wonder what happened to the first two men.
Well, they're in the film. You have to watch the film.
Oh, I've never seen the movie. It's supposed to be real good too. I've never seen it.
Well, I have it. We'll have to show that to you sometime then.
Should have brought it with you. Could have watched it on our TV here. Oh well.
Yeah, I'd have to burn the beta video deck as well too.
Oh yeah.
Which would have been another
beta,
50 pounds to bring.
Well, the beans in beta
would you
build
keep
better
those
on the
jets
burner.
quiet out there, please? Oh, I'm going to have to call the airport. This is just awful.
Yes. The plane.
It's just the plain facts here on the Glowing Dial, folks.
Let's listen to this wonderful program here. And
yes, shall we? Okay, so, folks, from, what is my date here? From December 21st, 1951, this is The Lives of Harry Lime, a.k.a. The Third Man in It's a Knockout. Enjoy.
Presenting Orson Welles as the Third Man. The Lives of Harry Lime. The fabulous stories of the immortal character originally created in the motion picture The Third Man, with zither music by Anton Karas.
The world, the poet says, is so full of a number of things, he's sure we should all be as happy as kings. Luckily, the world, so full of such a number of other things, is also pretty generously loaded with suckers. What, my children, is a sucker? A sucker is a larcenous chump who likes to gamble, as long as it's a sure thing. And do I need to tell you that the surest thing in the world is that a sure thing can't be sure? Step a little closer, friends. You're crowding the pavements. Let me tell you about it.
And now Orson Welles as Harry Lime, the third man in It's a Knockout.
Point him out to me, Harry.
See? There he is. One that's knocking his pipe out. That's Stan Pierce. That's our little old sucker. And Holocaust.
Not bad looking, is he?
Keep your mind on your business now, Jenny. He's worth at least $30,000 to me if you do as I tell you.
Don't worry, Harry. I'll have him in Havana with his $30,000 on a plate inside of 48 hours.
Oh, okay. I'll be waiting for you. Well, try and get a seat near him on the plane. And don't forget, when you meet me in Havana, I'm not Harry Lime. I'm J. Harrington Lime, the Wall Street Tycoon. When an American businessman like Stan Pierce goes on a Florida vacation and finds himself sitting on the plane next to a pretty girl, he makes my work pretty simple for me. I'd known she'd be able to pick him up easily. She was telling him the story I'd coached her in the next night in the Florida nightclub, and by that time he was ready to believe anything she told him.
Can't you stay over here in Miami another day?
Oh, Stan, I'd love to, but you don't know my boss. I've got to fly to Cuba first thing tomorrow morning to give him the contracts he sent me to New York for. If I'm not there, ouch.
Sounds like a slave driver. We'd begrudge you one day in the sun here.
Mr. J. Harrington Lime is a stinker, especially to his secretary.
J. Harrington Lime. You say that name as though I should have heard of him.
Only if you work in Wall Street.
If he's such a stinker, why don't you quit your job?
That's what I want to do. The only thing I want to do is make some money before I do. If only I could just figure a way to...
Do what?
Well, I'm not sure that I... Oh, I'm being silly.
What?
Oh, I started to think I shouldn't tell you about it, but I don't know why I shouldn't. You don't know Mr. Lime, after all. Probably won't see him anyway. Besides, you're nice. I like you. I sure think I can trust you.
Sure you can. You got an idea?
Well, you see, Mr. Lime's a great sportsman. Loves to gamble. On the fights, the races, almost anything.
Matter of fact, me too.
Well, anyway, so Mr. Lime's got this big palace of a place in Cuba near Havana. You know, mink line, swimming pool, tennis courts, the works. And right on his estate, he's found that one of the workmen, a Cuban, is a wonderful boxer.
So?
His name is Pancho Cordobas. He's really good. At least, I don't know much about boxing, but the trainer Mr. Lime brought down, and the doctor and everybody, they all say Pancho will be a world champion.
Really? Pancho Cordobas. Funny, I never heard of him.
It's not funny. Would be funny if you had heard of him. He's had 10 fights, won every one by a knockout. But don't you see? Mr. Lime just keeps him under wraps. All his fights were held in secret.
In secret? I don't get it.
Sure. So that when Mr. Lime matches him in New York, he'll be absolutely unknown. He's trying to get him matched up against top boys, and whoever it is Pancho fights, Mr. Lime will be able to get simply wonderful odds. See?
I'm beginning to, but I don't see how you figure to make any money out of this. Are you going to...
Let me tell you. In secret, of course. Now, Mr. Lime always tries to get his guests to bet against him. He takes Pancho, and he'll give big odds because he's so sure of Pancho.
Yeah, and?
Pancho has agreed with me that he'll lose this next fight if I give him the word. He'll... What's the expression?
Take a dive.
That's it. For a price. Mr. Lime's been giving him a purse of $5,000 every time he wins. We agreed I'd give him twice that if he loses.
This Lime, he gives good odds on Pancho?
Last time he was trying to find takers at 10 to 1.
How can you lose?
I know. Isn't it awful?
That's awful. It's a smart scheme for a girl to have thought of. What's the hitch?
Well, even with all my savings, I couldn't win enough to pay off Pancho. Besides...
You've got to have someone to do your betting for you.
Exactly. So I guess I'll just have to stick to my job for a while longer.
What would you say if I offered to put up some of the capital for you?
No, Stan. Have you got that kind of money?
On a sure thing like this? I sure have.
Oh, Stan. Look, I'll give you all my savings right now.
Wait a minute.
$1,000. If you can only help me out.
Well, all right. You know, this will be a good thing for us both.
Oh, sure it will. Let's both have a drink on it, shall we? To celebrate our partnership. Oh, Stan, you're wonderful. And you're sure you'll be able to raise some cash to bet?
On this kind of a proposition, I'll have $30,000 cash at least.
Oh, Stan, how wonderful.
How wonderful, yes, indeed, especially for me, Harry Lime. I always find it refreshing to relieve a rich sucker of money when he thinks he's going to steal from someone else. Jenny had done well. She got Stan Pierce over to Cuba within the 48 hours she'd promised. The hook was baited. Poor fish was about to bite. Well, either you're uncommonly lucky, you certainly are an expert on cockfights.
Just luck, Mr. Lime. Beginner's luck.
Oh.
Matter of fact, this is the first time I ever saw the birds fight in my life.
Oh, you don't say. That's $75 you want from me. There you are. What was your name again?
Pierce. Stan Pierce from Cleveland.
Glad
I'm
to
in
know
the
you.
insurance game.
Pierce, you like boxing very much?
Yeah. I go to get to the fights whenever I can.
Where are you staying, Mr. Pierce?
I'm at the National, sir.
Well, good night. Good night, Pierce. Been pleasant chatting with you. Maybe I will undertake to win that $75 back from you. It's important to handle a chump with artistic appreciation. Limousines, country estates are expensive, but for me, I regard them as legitimate business deductions. I wanted to make sure this chump Pierce was impressed, so I even had a half dozen pals on hand, all dressed up to the nines, pretending to be my weekend guests. Charming people, all of them, really. Very capable of giving my chump a good time, flattering him, making him feel nice and secure. First, I fed him lunch, then a good Havana cigar. Then we went for a stroll, our whole party, and I led them casually down to a specially outfitted training quarters.
Oh, Harry, this is the fighter you were telling us about.
Discovered him yourself, I understand.
Yeah, that's right, General.
Wow, that. Is that why you were asking me if I went to prize fights, Mr. Lime?
What do you think of him? He's fast, isn't he?
He certainly is. What's his name?
I call him Young Pancho, of course. I don't know yet whether he's any good or not. He hasn't fought a single fight.
He hasn't? I mean, he hasn't.
No.
He looked so sharp, I could have sworn that...
Beautiful, so graceful.
No, he's fighting for the first time next Thursday. You've heard of Kid Burke.
The middleweight.
Sure, he's a good puncher.
Well, I understand Burke's pretty good. I've gotten him to come over and go a few rounds with Young Pancho. I'm making up a purse for the winner.
You've never had a fight yet. How do you know your boy hasn't got a glass jaw, Mr. Lime?
I don't, Pierce. That's what I hope to find out next Thursday.
Harry, off Kid Burke's record and seeing that young Pancho's never had a fight, I hate to do it, but I might take some of your money away from you at a friendly wager, huh?
Trust Lime, General. He'll see to it that the odds work for him.
Maybe I could give you a chance to win back your $75, Mr. Lime. What's the matter?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Pierce. I'm really sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. I was just amused at the idea, that's all.
Idea of what?
Well, don't you see, I was planning to make up a purse of $10,000 on the fight, and any side bets that I could place on Pancho. I want to make sure that my winnings would cover the purse, don't you see? 75.
Yeah, I might possibly be able to bet a stake that would interest you.
Oh, that'd be fine, Mr. Pierce. Fine. I'm sure, Nothing better calculated to make a chump impatient. Nothing better calculated to make a fish leap for the hook than to twitch the bait away as though he maybe isn't going to get a chance to grab it. I was hoping Pierce's neck was hot under his collar as I walked away after giving him that little brush. Wanted to give him a chance to talk to Jenny without anybody else around. Sure enough, I could see him moving over to his side.
Well, what do you think, Stan?
He said this was Pancho's first fight coming up.
Oh, he always tells people that. Don't you see? That's the way they're likely to bet a lot more money on him. That's the kind of a man he is. That's one reason I hate him so much.
I see what you mean. Well, say, here he comes.
Who? Oh, Pancho. ¿Cómo está, Pancho?
Senorita?
Have a good workout?
Gracias, it was fine. I feel best I ever feel.
Now, don't forget, Pancho. Third round. That's our agreement.
Senorita, what are you saying?
Oh, don't worry about Stan. He's my partner in the deal.
This is safe?
Oh, sure. Safe as a bank. Stan, shake hands with Pancho. This is Senor Pierce, Pancho.
Oh, no, senor. But, senorita, if too many people find out...
Now, don't worry, Pancho.
Yes,
I said it was all right. Third round now. That's our bargain.
Sí, third round.
Hey, Pancho, get in the showers.
Okay. Buenas tardes, senor. Senorita.
See you later. Well, Stan?
I'll go in it with you, Jenny. Looks good to me.
Oh, wonderful.
That lime, he got me a little sore. I'm going to show him I'll take him for plenty.
What do you mean?
I'll have to convert some bonds and maybe borrow a few bucks, but I think I can work it so that I can put my hands on $45,000.
Oh, Stan.
Yeah, at good odds, say 10 to 1, we'll clear.
Oh, it's so much I can't even think of it. Oh, Stan, I just want to kiss you.
Okay with me, honey.
Can you get those bonds or whatever they are converted in time for the fight?
That's for next Thursday? I think so. I should be able to get a draft on my bank from one of the banks here in Havana.
And my thousands. You still have it. Safe?
Don't you worry about chicken feet like that, honey. By next Thursday, you'll be on the easiest street in the biggest house in the block.
You see what you get just by being a little rude? I'd figured this chump was good for $30,000, and now he's begging to give me $45,000. I could have told him that the bank in Havana would be efficient, unfortunately efficient for him. By Thursday afternoon, Stan Pierce, my fine, fat little Cleveland insurance man, has $46,000 bills in his pocket, one of them mine that I give him to Jenny to give to him, and the rest of them his, which would end up in my pocket $45,000.
Orson Welles returns in just a moment as the third man. Now, Orson Welles, as the third man, continues with It's a Knockout.
So it's dinner time. Dinner time, and over the brandy, I'm ready to start accepting bets. Well, General, 5-1 then. I'll tell you what, I'll make it 15-2. Hey, what's the matter? Can't I get any action from you gentlemen?
Well, Harry, those are nice odds. Suppose I bet 25,000. I'm taking
Swell,
that now.
swell. Just give you 25 to Jenny here. Here's my end.
Wait, I don't want to carry this money all around.
Here, take this little satchel. You can stuff it in there. Well, Judd?
I don't know, Harry. I'm not sure I trust you.
Fire and thunder, man. I'll give you 10-1.
I'll take those odds, Mr. Lime.
What's that? Oh, Pierce. Well, fine, sir, fine. I'll take you $75, too, if I can't get any larger action from these gentlemen.
My wager on Burke is $46,000, Mr. Lime.
Oh, fine. You've got cash, of course. Give it to Jenny here. And, Jenny, here's my end.
Mr. Lime, I hate to be carrying all this money
Getting
around.
heavy, is it, Jenny? All right, then, Pierce. Suppose you be appointed custodian of the stakes.
Well,
Come on, old man. I'm sure everyone here trusts you. Well, can I get any more action? If not, there's just one more thing I want to say before we all go to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, you all understand that, of course, this fight is private. It's not being conducted under any boxing commission rules. For that reason, it's a little irregular. As a matter of fact, our Cuban police friends would quite possibly feel that it's illegal. You understand, General, that's why I couldn't take your check. Well, friends, I presume I can trust you not to mention that the entertainment was held out here tonight.
Sure.
That's to protect the licenses of the fighters and the managers involved. I have your assurance.
Sure, you can trust us. Yeah,
Then let's all go. Fight's about to start. Pierce, got those stakes all right? Well, let's go. Sheer delight to watch Pierce carrying that satchel. You ever watched a man that you know is guilty, trying to act innocent? Of course, this is the first time Pierce has ever tried an act like that. Down through the gardens where the ring was set up, there were perhaps 3 dozens of us, maybe 50 altogether, counting the trainers, the seconds, the referee, and all of them, of course, in on my little scheme, except just one, Mr. Stan Pierce. Fortunately, they weren't all on my payroll. They were friends, gamblers, confidence men, their girls, anxious to do me a favor, and anxious, too, to watch the fun. Fighters in the ring now, referee's talking to them. I have to watch them, but I have to watch Pierce, too. First round. Fighters pretending just to feel each other out. Pancho's putting on a show of fancy footwork. Of course, the two fighters I've hired put on a good show. It's artistic. We can't have Pierce getting worried about how raw it'll look when Pancho takes his dive. Poor Pierce. And I know just what he's doing. He's figuring how long a round takes, 3 minutes, multiplying that by the number of rounds Pancho's agreed to go before he pretends to be knocked out, adding a minute between rounds, and he's thinking in less than 10 minutes, he'll be collecting his bet. Less than 10 minutes. Whoop, whoop. That's because Pancho went down on his knees. Burke really clipped him. Looked good, too. I'll bet Pierce is just as happy he didn't bet on what round Pancho would lose in. There goes Pancho again on the canvas.
3, 4.
And he's up at 5. Pierce looks worse than Pancho does. Now Pierce is feeling at his feet, making sure the satchel's still there, looking around furtively, thinking, they really trust me. Silly smile on his face. I'll just speak to him and see what he says. Well, how about it, Pierce? Enjoying the fight?
Sure, but your boy doesn't look very good in there.
Oh, don't worry about young Pancho, Pierce. He'll be all right.
Come on, try it. Come on. Get it.
Now, here they go again. Pancho looks as though he's got a cut open up under his eye there. He'd probably want another $10 from me for that. He's sure a pretty good boxer at that. Look at Pierce. Just look at Pierce. I'll bet he's adding up his profits again. 46,000 at 10 to 1 and 460,000 minus 10,000 to Pancho leaves 450,000. Split 2 ways with Jenny means a clear gross of 225,000 smackaroos. Whoop, there he goes, down again. That Burke's got a pretty right hand at that. Just reaches out and down goes old Pancho on it.
2, 3, 4.
Count of 4 that time. I better get more worried looking. Pierce might suspect something. Yeah, he's looking at me, all right. Watch his right, Pancho. Watch his right. I hope I look sick enough. Pierce is watching the fighters again. Fighters, that Pancho. He's really one of those powder puff fighters. All flick and fluff, no real sock to him. Burke could land him in 1 round if this fight was a square rattle. Pierce is breathing harder than either of the fighters. Uh-oh, he's looking over at me. Maybe I'd better.
Your money feels safe still, Mr. Lyon?
Oh, at least I know now my boy doesn't have a glass jaw, Pierce. But I just can't understand what's come over Pancho tonight. He seems sluggish. Maybe he's overtrained. What do you
Maybe his reactions do seem sort of slow.
think? This is Rich. Now Pierce is worried. He's scared Pancho will make me suspicious. Round 3, this is where it happens. Look at Pierce. His hand groping to make sure he's still got that satchel, thinking, now is when we can reach right out and grab $225,000. Greedy boy. I'm far more restrained. All I want is your $45,000. Better pay more attention to the fight. Pancho's left in Burke's face, takes a right across, Nance's back, stands it down. Sure looks like Pancho's guard is wide open. Pierce will like that. Now the right from Burke catches Pancho on the side of the head. He looks dazed. Now's the moment for Burke to step in. He's measuring Pancho. Here it comes. A terrific right, and it misses. Pancho ducks under, dances away, and the crowd wants to know what happened to Burke. They pretend they don't understand. Pierce, he's stunned. Why? Burke is down on his back, blood spurting out of his mouth.
He missed him.
Where's that phony doctor? He should be in the ring pretending to examine Burke.
Doctor!
What happened, Jenny?
Gosh, Stan, I don't know.
The doctor.
Give me my bag. Once. On that seat there.
Doc, what happened?
This man's hemorrhaging. He's in very bad shape.
But I never touched him. Santissima Madre de Dios.
That Pancho puts on a very good act.
Apparently, you didn't need to touch him. Stand back, please.
But I tell you...
No, never mind. There's no use. This man is dead.
Dead? Dead, but how?
Apparently, Mr. Lyme, when he missed that terrific swing, he burst a blood vessel. Completely chance. Couldn't have been predicted.
But are you sure?
Lyme, your guests.
Oh, yes, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, I must ask you all, please, to leave at once. Please say nothing of what has happened here tonight. I'm very much afraid we're all accessories to homicide if this ever gets out. Now, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave as quietly as possible.
Yeah.
Quick, the money. There.
But what are you going to do?
What do you think? Take it.
But we lost. We lost the bet.
I don't care. He'll never be able to report us. He'll be too busy trying to hush this thing up.
But
listen, a plane leaves for Miami from Havana at midnight. Grab it. I'll meet you at the hotel in Palm Beach tomorrow.
But, Jenny, we're liable to be arrested in a homicide rap.
Don't you think I know that? Go on, beat it. I'll meet you in Palm Beach. Hurry.
But I've got no money left.
Here, quick. Before they say I've got the satchel. Here's 100. Goodbye, Stan. And Stan, listen.
Yeah, well, what?
Hurry.
The most artistic aspect of this swindle was that the chump fled, convinced he was in for real trouble, homicide trouble, completely forgetful of his $45,000. Pretty, wasn't it? It's one of the neatest jobs I'd ever pulled off. And as soon as he was safely off my rented estate, my Confederates gathered around for the payoff.
This is good business, Harry. How did you like my act?
Oh, you were great, Pancho, old man. Burke, the way you bit into that bladder of chicken blood, I thought the blood had never stopped coming out. Where's that satchel? Come on, we'll split up the profits now.
Here it is.
Where's Jenny? She's the one that deserves some praise, the way she hooked that poor fish. Jenny! Jenny!
She must have gone inside for something.
Well, I'll take her cut and give it to her later. Hand me that satchel. Oh, whenever I think of the expression on that Pierce's puss. Why do you know I'll bet he... Hey, what's this?
What's the matter? What happened, Harry?
That vixen? That seventh daughter of a seventh daughter, that double-crossing, no, sextuple-crossing, wry-necked witch, that...
Who, Harry?
Warren, Jenny Warren! She's run off with my money. Not your money, not your money. Mine, I've got enough to pay you off, every penny. It's the bet she's absconded with, one of the shrewdest schemes I'd ever hatched, and she has to throw the queer in it. Listen to her note. She says, and I'm leaving 5 for your end, Harry. That'll be enough to pay for a long-distance phone call to tell me what you think of me. I'll be in New York tonight. But after that, who knows where I'll be. Love, Jenny.
Harry Lime returns in just a moment. And now, Harry Lime.
What is a sucker, friends? Step closer. You're crowding the pavement. And I'll tell you. A sucker is a larcenous chump. Maybe I said that before, but I think I forgot to mention that there's an awful lot of us. I'd promised my Confederates that they'd get their expenses paid, but after thinking that over for about 30 seconds, I figured there was no use throwing good money after bad. Of course, it meant leaving Cuba in a kind of a hurry, but after all, they should have known better. They should have remembered the old saying, lime doesn't pay.
Hi, this is Frank Brzee, Little Beaver on Old Time Radio's Red Rider. You're listening to The Glowing Dial with your hosts Big John and Steve, heard exclusively on Yesterday USA Radio.
And thank you very much, Mr. Brzee. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed The Third Man featuring Orson Welles there and had the lovely zither music. What do you think of that?
That was the number one song.
Yes, but it was done by many, many people, too. I mean, many bands and things. Yes, and that's the best. Yes, the original and the best, in my opinion. That zither music, a lot of it sounds just that happy little, like skipping along and just. Right. Yeah, I've been looking for like an original soundtrack with all these little sound cues, and all these little cue pieces in there too with it, and that'd be a goal of mine. But sometimes during the show it'll fade out and somebody will start talking over part of it, so you can't get the whole thing. There was those little bits at the end, though. So that little extra 2 minutes at the end, which was fun, So that's why we included that, because I like it. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up just about for another Glowing Dial. We want to let you know how to get a hold of us here, folks. First of all, support Yesterday USA. Help us keep on keeping on, because we're non-profit. We're all volunteer. Nobody gets paid for any of this, not even Bill Bragg. So send whatever you can, 5, 10, 20 a month, whatever you can handle, to Yesterday USA, 2001 Plymouth Rock, Richardson, Texas, 75081. And here at the Glowing Dial, we're not asking you for money, but you can write to us or call us and email us and let us know what you think. Write to us snail mail at the Glowing Dial, 1055 Townhouse Lane, Traverse City, Michigan, 49686. Or telephone us at area code 810-774-0112. Or visit our website at www.glowingdial.com. And drop us an email there. There's email links on the page, and fill out our guest page while you're there. And let us know what you think of the web page. We're constantly working on it. We're improving it bit by bit. It's going to take a while, but so let us know what you think of that too. And while you're doing all that, we're going to say, keep a positive thought, keep looking up, and we'll see you on the radio. Bye-bye.